day to you, and thanks for joining me today. I'm Spenta and I enjoy gardening. I love landscaping and I have plants indoors and outdoors. Today I'm sharing a bit about how to care for amaryllis plants and how to plant the seeds or allow your plants to go to seed in order to have a new amaryllis variety. Amaryllis flowers are very beautiful. They are not hardy to my area. I could move them outside during the summer period and I will cover that in my video, or I could keep them indoors, allow them to go into a dormant period and then put them back out by the light and allow them to go into flowering mode. I will cover all those with you today. Also, I will cover what to do and how to make your amaryllis go into seeds in order to have seeds that are a good variety for pollinating for your upcoming amaryllis plants. Amaryllis does require lots of patience. So let's get started on what I did here and how I obtained these seed pods. These seed pods are amaryllis seed pods. Let's get a little bit closer to this. I want you to get a good look at the amaryllis seed pods. There you go. That's what they look like. You see they are wrinkly and black and lots of them in a seed pod. Well, there is a reason for that. And not all of these seeds are going to be productive seeds. That means that all the seeds will not give you what you're expecting. So when you're going to plant the seeds, keep that in mind. Amaryllis grows from bulbs usually. A lot of people are used to planting amaryllis from bulbs. However, I like to grow amaryllis from bulb, and I also like to grow amaryllis from seeds. And I will tell you why it's a good idea to grow amaryllis from seeds. The reason for that is, if you are patient enough, you can have a beautiful new variety of amaryllis. Therefore, you could cross-pollinate your own amaryllis, which is what I do. So I take two different amaryllis, like in this case, in this particular case, I took two different amaryllis, two different colors, and I used self-cross-pollination. So I take the two flowers and I make them join. And after that, what happens is I get seed pods produced, and seed pods are going to produce a new color, a new variety of vibrant amaryllis. If you're not familiar with amaryllis and what they look like, please take a look at my other content. I have shared lots of shares on amaryllis, as amaryllis is one of my favorite flowers. Not only that, I enjoy growing daffodils and narcissus plants, and those are also part of the amaryllis family. As you can see, I have some plants that are going to be blooming soon, and they are wonderful. And I'm looking forward to daffodils, many varieties of narcissus, and also looking forward to having my plants bloom. Daffodils usually are spring bloomers, and I like to plant them indoors and outdoors. So I have outdoor daffodils that are coming up already from last year. I added a few different varieties of daffodil this year into my outdoor gardens, and I am looking forward to sharing that with you. Now, as to my indoor gardening and why I have daffodils inside, it's because I'm Persian, and for Persian New Year's, we celebrate with daffodils and hyacinth as part of our table decor. So therefore, I have included that here because it will be upcoming soon. So this is a winter gardening share, and the Persian New Year is around March 21st. There we go. Let's get back to amaryllis and what they will look like. This is an example of what amaryllis looks like if it's in the mode of after flowering. So after flowering, your amaryllis is just going to have leaves all over the place, and that's the right thing. That's what you want it to do. So when you take amaryllis and you have the flower, once it flowers, it will either turn into something that looks like this with seed pods on it, or it will turn into something that looks like this. Let's get a close-up of that. There you go. And if this happens, that's a good thing. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to cut at this area, close to the base. So cut close to the base and get rid of that. So I have prepared that so I could show it and share it with you on video. Otherwise, I would have already cut that section off. So I'm just letting you know that's what you do after the amaryllis flowers and it's done, showing you that gorgeous, vibrant bloom. Here is going to have a few amaryllis in here that are at next stages. So you will see that center amaryllis only has 2 leaves on it, and those are brand new leaves. That's because that particular amaryllis, I used the dormant mode amaryllis method for it. What does that mean? That means that after flowering, which is here, I cut off the section of flower, this right here. Cut that portion off right there. So after doing so, I will feed it with fertilizer, let it sit for a week or 2. After that, I'll go ahead and cut off the remainder of the leaves, take the bulb out and let it sit in moss and just let it dry. Let it dry. After 8 to 12 weeks, I bring my amaryllis bulb back out again and I replant it. Here in the center is a result of a replanted amaryllis. It took about 11 weeks to come out of this mode of being dormant and actually producing its first and second leaves. And that's what amaryllis does. It produces lots of leaves, but not a lot, about 4 to 6, and actually it depends on your amaryllis. Amaryllis also flowers the same way. You can have 2 shoots come up or 3. In this case of this one, I pollinated it on purpose, self-pollinated it myself on purpose, because what I wanted is I wanted to save the seeds. You can save seeds. You can plant seeds in water. You can also plant them in light soil. This is going to require a little bit of patience, as your patience is a virtue, because you are going to have beautiful new varieties of amaryllis. So if you are an amaryllis fan and if you're trying to grow amaryllis or flowers indoors, this is a big thing. This will take a long time to flower. Sometimes I've seen it take up to 5 years to flower, so you must definitely be patient if you're going to use amaryllis flowering from seed method. That's why a lot of people use the bulb method, planting the amaryllis bulbs. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. I do both. I plant amaryllis bulbs and I also use the seed method. Just keep in mind that it takes time. You have to fertilize it each year. So keep that in mind, that your plants need food. So feed your plants, and once they get about an inch or a couple of centimeters dry on top, you need to water them again. So water those plants again. Another method, this is the last method that I'm going to discuss, is for people that live in a climate that is a dual climate, which means that actually has cooler winters and warmer summers. So if you live in a climate like that, it would be very cool, it would be nice if you're willing to introduce your amaryllis outdoors near where it sees the sun, that during the spring and summer season, you place your amaryllis plants outdoors, because they absolutely love the sun and they enjoy it. Definitely different than their other variety, which is daffodils. Definitely come up during different times, flower during different times, and provide these vibrant, gorgeous, beautiful large flowers. So they are totally worth it. You can also take your dormant bulbs and plant them outdoors. If you live in a warm climate, amaryllis is such a beautiful plant to add to your gardens. And I highly recommend amaryllis and planting amaryllis in your gardens. I thank you so much for watching my share today. I hope you learned a little bit about Amaryllis. Definitely enjoys warm weather and definitely likes the sun. It has a dormant period. You can plant it from seed. You can plant it from bulb. Keep in mind that Amaryllis will not flower ongoing. You do have to allow it to sit for a little bit, go through a rest period. It will flower again as long as you fertilize and feed. Make sure that your soil stays moist. If your soil is dry, within the first top inch or two, or a couple of centimeters up top, water your plant again and allow all water to go through your plant, which means let the water go through and soak the plant itself. And the remainder of the water, if you're interested in what I do, I have a tray. I have lots of trays that protect my plants. Right there is an example. Lots of trays that I use that protect my plants from seeping water through and allowing it to go on the ground or anywhere else that I do not want, indoors or perhaps by window sills. So if you have plants and you planted them and they are sitting by your window sills, I highly recommend those dishes. I'm Spenta. I hope you grow Amaryllis. Don't forget to check out my other content. I have many shares on Amaryllis and daffodils, narcissus, hyacinth, as planting bulbs is one of my favorite things to do. I also enjoy planting indoors and outdoors, and I plant year-round. So do check out my other contents on planting outdoor, indoor, and on any other variety of plants. Again, I'm Spenta. I thank you for visiting me, watching my share. Your comments, likes, subscriptions, and shares are greatly appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. I wish you a beautiful day, and thanks for watching my share. Happy gardening.